We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
No ceasefire in Gaza, Biden bumbles through a campaign stop, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Tensions deepened over the weekend between President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as hopes of striking a deal to pause fighting before the start of Ramadan crumbled, and a U.S. military ship set sail to ease the flow of aid into Gaza. Biden warned on Saturday that an Israeli attack on the southern Gaza city of Rafah would cross a red line if it caused extensive civilian casualties. He added that Netanyahu is hurting Israel more than helping Israel. On Sunday, in an interview with Politico, Netanyahu responded, saying, "I don't know exactly what the president meant, but if he meant by that, I'm pursuing private policies against the wish of the majority of Israelis, and that this is hurting the interests of Israel, then he's wrong on both counts." The ceasefire did not occur because Hamas refuses to release sick and injured hostages. Biden's push for a ceasefire has more to do with him kowtowing to the far-left activists in the Democratic Party than it does any concern for Israelis or Palestinians. Just one day after President Biden delivered a State of the Union address that many claimed put to rest questions about his mental fitness, the president raised eyebrows with several gaffes in Pennsylvania. Biden visited Strathaven Middle School in Delaware County on Friday for his first swing state campaign stop after outlining his agenda to a joint session of Congress. During the campaign stop, he made comments which were ridiculed by critics. "Pennsylvania, I have a message for you. Send me to Congress," Biden shouted at one point, appearing to mix up the office he's running for. He was a six-term U.S. Senator representing Delaware in Congress before he became vice president in 2008. Later in his remarks, Biden said, "We cut the deficit and we added more to the national debt than any president in his term in all of history, than under Donald Trump." While this is accurate, it's not something a candidate should tout on the campaign trail. Meanwhile, a psychiatrist who has worked with elderly dementia patients said President Biden exhibited signs of stimulant use to mask cognitive decline in his amped-up, aggressive State of the Union speech on Thursday. Biden raced through his remarks with the speed of an auctioneer, loudly shouting his words despite having a microphone in front of him. Speed and volume of speech can be a sign of using Adderall or another amphetamine, said Dr. Carol Lieberman, a forensic psychiatrist based in Beverly Hills, California. If you look at how Joe Biden usually is, slow and stumbling, compared to how he was during the State of the Union, fiery and angry, these are signs that are typical for someone taking Adderall or any amphetamine. Dr. Lieberman said the signs of potential pharmaceutical use go beyond how Mr. Biden spoke during the nearly 90-minute speech, but also in his mannerisms. The January 6th Congressional Committee falsely claimed that it did not have evidence that showed former President Trump's administration requested National Guard assistance, according to a report detailing a hidden transcript that was recently released. The former J6 Select Committee apparently withheld Mr. Ornato's critical witness testimony from the American people because it contradicted their predetermined narrative. Mr. Ornato's testimony proves what Mr. Meadows has said all along. President Trump did in fact offer 10,000 National Guard troops to secure the U.S. Capitol, which was turned down, Georgia Representative Barry Loudermilk said in a statement on Friday. Loudermilk released a transcript of former White House Deputy Chief of Staff Anthony Ornato's interview with the Congressional Committee investigating January 6th on Friday, following the Federalist's Molly Hemingway reporting former Representative Liz Cheney's January 6th committee suppressed evidence that the Trump administration pushed for 10,000 National Guard members to be on the streets. Ornato's interview was conducted in January 2022 and attended by Cheney, among other members of the committee. In addition to serving as Deputy Chief of Staff under Trump, Ornato served in the Secret Service for decades. Former President Donald Trump met with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban and received his endorsement, sparking outrage from President Biden. Orban traveled to Florida to visit Trump at his Mar-a-Lago resort on Friday. The duo discussed a wide range of issues affecting Hungary and the United States, including the paramount importance of strong and secure borders to protect the sovereignty of each nation, according to the Trump campaign. It was a pleasure to visit President Donald Trump today. We need leaders in the world who are respected and can bring peace, Orban said on social media. He is one of them. Come back and bring us peace, Mr. President. New York Attorney General Letitia James was booed at a firefighter ceremony on Thursday, drowned out by a crowd who shouted, "Trump, Trump, Trump." The booing erupted as James walked up to the podium to honor the swearing-in of the first African-American woman chaplain of the FDNY, the Reverend Pamela Holmes, as well as other first responders. This is not the first time that first responders have let their displeasure with the city's leadership show. NYPD officers en masse turned their backs on former Mayor Bill de Blasio when he appeared at a police ceremony. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.